okay. If you don't know, she is absolutely incredible. She is one. Oh yeah, no, you know, let's give time for this. Hi, welcome. Perfect timing, frankly. We're gonna wait for them to sit. These are very noisy stairs. What does everyone do for work? Bam, 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 bam. All right, are we ready? Holy crap, we're in for such a treat. I am so excited for you to see this. I'm so excited for me to see this. Please give a warm welcome to Rachel Manson!
That being said, no photography, please. My therapist does not know I'm here. I gave her a promise. I might make her listen to this. I might just send this to her. I might just send my therapist my album. She will double bill me. But I'm going to charge her $9.99 for this album on iTunes, so take that, Kendra. Some of you may have noticed, especially if you're listening, that I like to put my foot on the stool when I speak to you. I like to assert physical dominance over my space no matter what. I'll put my foot on a stool, on a table in the front, on the head of a man, preferably a boyfriend that was dragged here against his will by his bisexual girlfriend. He doesn't want to be here, but he knows he's running up that hill. So. I like asserting physical dominance because I know I'm not a very intimidating person. I don't hold a lot of authority with my body, and when you see me and hear me, you have no real reason to listen to what I have to say about anything. I always kind of look like I just escaped a cult. It's not really an outfit thing, more of a vibe thing. Doesn't matter what I wear, it always looks like I just burst from a forest going, "Where's Daddy Husband Leader?" My literal last name is Manson, too. That's on my passport. It's spelled the same. It's my birthright to follow a bearded man into the desert and just not ask follow-up questions. Goodness. I'm trying to work on my confidence. I feel like I have the false, I like to call it the false confidence of a Ferrero Rocher. Advertised as the nectar of the gods. Sold next to Mucinex at Shoppers Drug Mart. It's good to know your castables. I'm trying to be more confident. I think I am more confident these days. I just came out on the other side of a very hard year. I went through a very hard breakup. He still doesn't know it, but like, that one's gonna be a doozy. I'll send him the album too. No, he knew it was hell. I'll tell you this: when you go through a long-term monogamous breakup where everyone knew you as a couple, no one really knows how to respond to the news that you've broken up with each other. So that actually becomes the worst part of the breakup. Not the heartbreak, telling people you broke up and then making them feel better about it. They'll get so weird. And then you have to start making up reasons why it's okay to quell their anxiety. To be like, "Oh no, it's fine. fine. We were toxic together. I threw out his cat. He pummeled my fish. We were toxic. People move on. Ah! More often than not, people respond to hearing about your breakup with their deepest, darkest trauma in an effort to, like, relate to you in some new way. So they'll be like, listen, I'm sorry you broke up with Josh, but you know what? I always wish I never had children. You have to be like, Dad, don't start a conversation. Oof. I was really lucky that I went through the hardest period of my life at the same time that I found anxiety medication for the first time, because going through that without SSRIs is a firm no thanks. I'm trying to get people to feel better about the fact that they are on meds. So who else is on meds in this room? Come on. Yeah. It's statistically more of you. So, just to make y'all feel better, we're going to do a fun little experiment. Let's all say what we're on at the same time. Don't chicken out. 1, 2, 3. Mescaline. See? Don't you feel better? I'm not. I'm on Lexapro. I'm on Lexapro for anxiety. Real basic girl Lexapro. Real basic Lexapro. Originally named after Lexi Pro, I assume. The first woman to announce that she'll be taking a break from social media. Lexapro also takes 6 weeks to start working, and there's nothing people with anxiety love more than waiting. I was very resistant to starting medication at first, which is stupid. If you need medicine, take medicine. That's dumb. But I was really white-knuckling it for a long time, like, no, I'm fine, I don't need anything, actually. The way you do when someone you have a crush on recommends a TV show for you, and they're like, you gotta get through the first 3 seasons. The first 3 seasons are pretty unwatchable, but you need that context to enjoy season 6, and that's where shit really gets popping off, and you're like, I don't even like anime, why am I trying to fuck you? Okay, enough women laughed at that, good. It's for you. Maybe she doesn't want to watch Attack on Titan. Ooh, they're bigger than average people. Wow. I do that joke for the one laugh at the end. My favorite thing is hearing that peter out until it's one boyfriend just slowly crossing his arms going, I'd like to leave, I'm not having any fun anymore. I went through another phase after the resisting the medication, which is the phase that's called, I actually already have medicine. It's called weed. Weed is my medicine. Cannabis is my mother Gaia. Are you trying to criminalize medicine? Because actually, it's my medicine. And then it was 8 a.m., and I was doing bong rips in the parking lot behind my apartment with an old Dorito bag between my legs and my phone on the ground playing the Great British Bake Off, being like, this is my medicine! Which is how I learned I actually need medicine. I am bisexual. Don't. Sheep, all of you, sheep. You could tell I'm bisexual when you see me by my everything. Hey, I feel like bisexuals are very clockable by what we wear. I feel like every bisexual looks like the coolest rave kid at a library lost and found. And some people still get uncomfortable when they hear the word bisexual. One of those people is me. I get very uncomfortable when I hear the word bisexual. Don't like the word, don't like that as a word sexual in it. Hate that. Hate that. Hate it. Anytime I ever heard the word bisexual, I become a Republican immediately. I'm like, not in front of kids, come on. There's still a lot of misconceptions about bisexuality. Like, people assume that bisexual women are just doing it for male attention. They're probably going to end up with a guy. People assume that bisexual men, they're just gay. They're not ready to talk about it yet. Now, both of those things assume that men are the real, like, creme de la creme in terms of options. No best case scenario, if you will. We're all just pining after penis and being, I don't know, shy about it. And I'm here to tell you, fellas, my guys, men are not the better option.
I'm sorry! I'm sorry, you're so cute! I'm sorry!
Men are the easier option. If you ever tried to have sex with a straight man, any one of you could go home tonight and have sex with a straight man. All you need is the cheat code. It's up, down, up. That's it. Don't even need that. Press start. It's done. Women are so much harder to flirt with because they're listening. It's so much harder. Anytime I flirt with a woman, I feel like a 13-year-old boy hiding a boner. Like, we both have hands. That's something we have in common. Do you think we get to keep them when we die? I don't know how to talk to them. I don't know how to talk to them. This is 100% real. The first time a woman ever outwardly flirted with me, I got so excited, I got so nervous, and then I found out that she had just come from the alt-right trucker convoy rally. Yeah. It was the real gay version of what would you do for a Klondike bar. Don't look up news pictures from that day. It's not important. People often ask me, if you're bi, pan, queer, whatever it is, what is your type? If you can be, attracted to anyone, then what's your type? And I'll tell you my type. These are my types. First, it's every non-binary person I've ever met in my entire life. Every single non-binary person I've ever met. Ephemeral, magical nymphs, all of them. All of them. The cheekbones, the ageless elves. In Japan, they have a word for the feeling you get when you look at the moon. That's every time I see a non-binary person, I'm like, tell me your ephemeral secrets, you mermaid. It's Bowie from Labyrinth. Don't be weird. You know what this is. We all know what this is. It's girls who bullied me in high school. My girlfriend was in a sorority. Great question. Great question. And boys who got bullied by those girls in high school. Give me a soft basement boy. Oh my, give me a rat man. I wanna lovingly, take off his headphones. I wanna lead a horse to water. I wanna introduce him to the power of hydration. I wanna show him the sun. I think I could fix him. I'm polyamorous, which also means I have multiple loving, committed partnerships. That it's very consent, everybody knows about each other. We're not doing the Gordon Lightfoot, sneaking around your back door, or whatever the hell that song is. I don't know, that's for two of you, I can't. I'm not like your dad, we all know about each other, it's fine. I was recently, I was at a friend's house, and I was talking about how I was polyamorous, and her 9-year-old daughter left the room and came back with all of her Polly Pocket dolls. Because she thought my sexuality was just how much I loved Polly Pocket. Which was so sweet and so cute, and I had to be like, oh, sweetheart, all of your dolls are way too attractive to be polyamorous. Have you seen poly people? We weren't cool in high school. We have dice necklaces and autism. We're not sweeping the streets. One of my partners, I literally told him when we first started dating, I think I'm falling in love with you, to which he replied, the dream that every girl wants to hear, oh, I could tell. Which is what I said back to him when he said I might be autistic. So, I've recently found out that more than one of my partners is on the autistic spectrum. No, just enough to be a pattern. Which either means I'm about to discover something very big about myself. Or I'm some kind of predator. I don't really want to pull at that thread. Someone just learned about themselves too. If the signs are there. If you have a dice on your person, then check. I love being poly. I really do. I really, really love it. I love how much you're forced to learn about yourself. You have to learn a lot about yourself very quickly. There's no lying to the panel. You gotta learn about yourself quite quickly. One time my boyfriend said to me, you're kind of bad at listening. And I went, oh, this coming from a man? This coming from a man? I see what it is. Check history, good sir. I bet you just don't like it when women talk. On this International Women's Day, I don't know what day it is, the patriarchy, goodbye. And then I went to my girlfriend's house and she's like, you're kind of bad at listening. And I'm like, oh. Okay. I'll look into it because you're so cute. Okay. And then she was talking about something. I wasn't listening. But at some point she said, oh, like ADHD, like what you have. And I said, excuse me? And she said, you didn't know that? And so then I went to my boyfriend. I was like, do you think I have ADHD? And he said, I thought you already knew that. I was like, I did not, sir. He's like, you call it goldfish brain. I'm like, yeah, because I'm a stoner, because I'm a cute little stoner, and I love my weed. That's why I'm just quirky. I'm just a quirky little gal. I love that I'm doing this for an audio medium. My little bum kicks. I like it. He's like, darling, goldfish brain is not what that is. Why do you smoke weed all the time? Because I love it. Why? It makes my brain quiet. Why? My brain's loud all the time with contradicting voices, so I tune them all out and then I do nothing. Oh. Okay. I'll look into it. Because they're so cute. And then I went to my doctor. And I said, listen, popular opinion, word on the street, is that I might have ADHD. Didn't even get to the last D, and she said, no, I see this for you. I was like, shouldn't I take a test? And she goes, do you want to take a test? And I said, no. And she's like, that was the test. You passed. Go home with Adderall. You have ADHD now. I started taking Adderall. And Adderall's awesome. God, I miss Adderall. I love Adderall so much. I loved Adderall so much I had to stop taking Adderall. Gosh, I love Adderall. My first week on Adderall, I go to my partner, I'm like, babe, I love you. Don't look at the twitch. I love you. I love you. I love all my partners. I love my friends. I love my family. I love my job. I love my life. And I would kill any single one of you in cold blood for more Adderall. And he's like, it's meth. You have to stop. So now I am on Vyvanse. I'm on Vyvanse. Boo! I'm on the responsible Adderall. God, I miss Adderall. Vyvanse is way too responsible. I hate it. Vyvanse is like, who wants to see me do my taxes? And Adderall's like, who wants to see me do a cartwheel? And who do you want at a party? I was never really addicted to Adderall. Don't act so surprised. I could be cool enough to be addicted to something. That is leaps and bounds for my self-confidence to think I could be addicted to anything. I feel like if I started chain smoking tomorrow, my friends would be like, good for her. She needs that. I wasn't addicted to Adderall, I was just scared I would be. That's the thing. I have this deep-seated anxiety about anything that feels good that I would become addicted to it. You know, like every time I smoke weed, I'm like, I'm getting addicted to weed. And every time I play video games, I'm like, I'm addicted to video games. And every time I shoot heroin, I'm like, I'm addicted to heroin. Every time I shoot more heroin, my partner's like, I'm leaving you because of all the heroin. Every time I drink coffee. I wish it was heroin. Yeah, but I was never cool enough to be addicted to anything. I really wasn't. I was a very, very good girl. I'm a people pleaser. I got straight A's growing up. I won the Bible Award at my religious high school. Don't, because this is what happens. And don't worry, being called a good girl at a religious institution all the way through my formative years did absolutely nothing to my sex drive. Don't worry about it. It had no long-term effects. We don't need to talk about it. Don't worry about it. Why are we talking about it? Shut up. I was quite the goody two-shoes. There was a phase at school where I kept getting invited to the movies by the cool kids, and I thought, oh, this is my big break. The ball's rolling up. I'm saying yes to every single one of these invites because I'm moving up. I'm moving up in the world, baby. No, that was fine. I'm not going to say it again. That's making it in the recording, baby. said yes every time the popular kids invited me to the movies. And it was always Marley and Me. I ended up seeing Marley and Me in theaters like 6 times. I watched that golden retriever die more times than the editor of Marley and Me. I didn't want to, it was just what the cool kids kept inviting me to. And what was I going to say, I've already seen this one? No. I would take in the mise-en-scène of the film. I would note Owen Wilson's Meisner technique of acting. Florida's its own character, huh? The movie didn't matter. No one else was paying attention to the movie. I found out later I was being invited as a parental buffer. That's when you can tell your parents, I'm not going to the movies alone with Dylan to do hand stuff in the back row. Bible Award winner Rachel Manson will be joining us. And all the moms go, I'll bring cookies. It wasn't the big break I thought it was. I wish I could help with the depiction of badass women on screen, but I can't. And here's why. I do a lot of commercial acting, and women in commercials are idiots. All of them, all the time. They all think they're in Greece now because they had a bite of yogurt. They gotta stop what they're doing to break dance because they smelt some good laundry. There's a commercial that was on TV during my formative years when cable was still alive and well. I think it's still running. And I need you to all be on the lookout for it. I'm not going to tell you what the commercial's for, I'm just going to describe it to you. We open on what can only be described as dainty white lady brunch. Everything is porcelain, nothing breaks here, no one has ADHD. Woman number 1 goes, I'm pregnant. 2 weeks. Now her friend, instead of asking any of the normal follow-up questions to that statement, like, oh my God, are you okay? Who's the dad? Do you need a ride to the thing? None of those things. Struck me as odd. Her friend, with utter bewilderment, just goes, but how could you know that? Did you speak to an oracle? Like they don't know. And the first woman goes, no. I took this clear blue pregnancy test, and this woman takes out a used pregnancy test from her blouse. It's not in a pocket because we don't have any. And her friend goes, oh my God, I think I'm gonna cry. Instead of again a normal response like, hey Deb, do you mind not whipping out a pea stick in the middle of mimosas? We've been sitting here for an hour and a half. When did you go to do that, Deb? I don't help with the depiction of women in commercials. I also used to work on Hallmark movies. I used to work for Hallmark holiday movies. I have seen every single Hallmark movie ever made, which is a crazy thing to say because by the time I'm done talking, 4 more will come out. I've seen all of them. I've seen Dear Santa, I've seen A Christmas Kiss, I've seen October's Kiss, I've seen Growing the Big One. which I also thought was going to be porn, but it's not. It's about pumpkins. Aww. Aww. White people are a nightmare. Aww. For those of you who've never seen a Hallmark movie, congratulations, you're so cultured. Congrats on reading. But like, here's every Hallmark movie ever so you don't have to watch one. A busy businesswoman who's so busy with business falls in love with a quirky donut shop baker. Guys, they hate each other at first. They hate each other. They don't see eye to eye one bit. No, they do not. But they gotta get together to save the mill from the factory closing during the pumpkin parade on Christmas for Jesus. And it's all filmed in the same gazebo in Hamilton, Ontario. Isn't that fun? Google the gazebo. It's in 8 of them, and no one's tried to hide it yet. No one. I think it's one production assistant's job to be like, all right, I'm moving the wreath to the other side, and now we're in Vermont. It's exhausting. I want to help the female cause. I think I'm just jealous of men. I'm jealous of cis men, you boys. I'm jealous of you and your low-maintenance bodies. Isn't it amazing? It's amazing, your bodies. Back when I lived with a man, he could eat a family-sized tube of Pringles for dinner. Just walked around like he owned the planet. No GI issues to speak of. I wore the wrong underwear last week, and I had to seek medical attention. That's not evolution. What is that? I had to go to a doctor. And women don't like going to the doctor because there's only 2 things we get asked of the doctor. Only 2 things. 1, are you pregnant? I have a lacerated limb and I'm bleeding out on the ground. You sure you might not just be pregnant? Sure you didn't get pregnant on accident and forget about it? Sure you didn't slip on a banana peel, go whoopsie daisies, fall on a penis, get pregnant that way? Sure you didn't get pregnant at that 6th grade birthday party where someone told you it could swim through water 10 years ago? You sure you're not pregnant? Now I don't know. You should check. I check. I'm not pregnant. And then the other thing we get asked, do you have an STI? Which I actually don't think that's the medical term anymore. I think now it's called dumpster slut disease. I think it's switched. Switched that. This doctor I go to, he checked for both. And then after he checked for both of those 2 things, he literally is dumbfounded. He goes, I mean, I don't. Can we get Diane in here? Is Diane around? Call my wife, too. Is she available? Any passing by women? Anyone? You know what, Rach? I'm just going to send you to a specialist. Like, really? We've exhausted our options in this particular category? He's like, sweetheart, I'm going to be honest with you. He didn't say sweetheart, but you get what I mean. It had the energy. He said, beyond that, the vagina? Still kind of a mystery. What? It shouldn't be, man. A lot of us have one. A lot of us have one. We're sending incels to the moon. This can't be witchcraft anymore. This can't be a ball of yarn no one wants to untangle. You want a fun fact? Here's a fun fact. We recently discovered, not me, I wasn't there. Science recently discovered that Viagra may help treat Alzheimer's. It's very cool. Do you know what that means? They're still working on Viagra. there's a team of scientists puttering away at a 1980s dick pill, really making sure that recipe sparkles for you. We went through a global pandemic. All of the doctors went, all right, all hands on deck. What about these guys? No, 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 no. Do not bother them. Penises must be hard for the end of days. Where will we hang our hats? Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. That was borderline not even jokes. There wasn't even any good media representation of women or women's health or just healthy relationships in general growing up. My favorite thing to watch growing up was reality dating shows from the early 2000s. Do you guys remember reality dating shows from like 04 to 07? Yeah, that was a dark period. That was the Wild West of reality television. No adult supervision. No one had pants that fit. Really, anything. Kids were forced to eat each other. Like, there was no laws. It was amazing. And this was far before we knew we wanted to see hot people hook up with each other. That came later. This is no Love Island situation. These were gremlin people. They found under a bridge, soaking wet all the time, or in the back of a Hollister doing shots of cologne and cocaine by themselves. I learned a lot from this genre of television. I did learn a lot. I actually learned what the word bisexual meant from MTV in 2004 on A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila. Yes. I did not know bisexuality was a thing before they got a stripper to come on TV and be like, I'm bisexual, and I'm gonna pick one because there can only be one. It was a real double-edged sword, because I learned it was a thing, and then immediately thought it did not apply to me, because the depiction of bisexuality was unhinged and insane. I'm like, this is a lot more naked car washes than I'm comfortable with, so this must not apply to me. Tila Tequila is also a full-blown Nazi now, an alt-right Nazi. 1,000%. Please look it up. There's no joke at the end of this. More people just have to know. That was a hard day for the Jewish queers. That was a hard day. Oh, felt like I was getting punched in the face twice. Do you guys remember the show Next? There was also, yeah. Oh God! Unearthing a deep traumatized memory. I loved Next. Next was a bus dating show. They put a bunch of blackout drunk weirdos on a bus and then made them walk out one by one to either be yes or nexted. I'm now realizing that also has Nazi undertones. We're just gonna hop right past it. Just hop right past it. Don't spend any time there. I loved these shows mainly because I was a very anxious kid. I had a lot of pent-up anxiety, but these shows weren't anxiety-provoking because all of the shows started with the MTV narrator, who just described everything you were about to see before you saw it, so there were no surprises down the line. Every show started with, one bus. 5 daters. They're on the bus. All competing for a cash prize of $48. Will they move on? Will they be nexted? Will they get dated? Will they get dumped? Will he go back to his dad's marketing firm in Iowa, or will he one day participate in the January 6th insurrection? God, I loved her. I loved that narrator. I wanted her to narrate my life. Just imagine getting on the subway early in the morning. We're all tired, everyone's quiet, they've got their headphones in. And then I walk onto the subway. The doors close behind me, and it goes, "One lanky bisexual Jew. 29 years of undiagnosed mental disorders. Will she hold on to this job at American Eagle? Or will she join a pyramid scheme because a stranger was nice to her?" I'm trying not to be such a people pleaser. I'm trying really hard. I'm trying to be more like assertive with my voice. Earlier this month I was parking in a green pea, and it was a tight spot, but I was like very confident I could get in. Walking in front of me was this like middle-aged, late baby boomer looking guy and his wife. He was walking in front and he stops her, and he looks at the spot and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, this I gotta see." Yeah, that got to me, mainly because I have hysterical road rage, but another reason is because I get it. I get that I don't look like someone who can drive well. I get it, and I also can't drive well. But if I was behind the wheel of a car, I would change lanes away from me because I'd be like, she's probably thinking about dogs. Like, I get that that's the vibe I give off. But he said it with so much stink, so much audacity. Like, this I got! Like, he was at like a 1930s carnival, and it was like, "Step right up, woman reads! This I gotta see!" Like, that's where I went inside his heart. I knew this was risky, but I make like dead eye contact with the guy, and I slide perfectly into the spot while maintaining eye contact. And I put the car in park, and I just waited. I was like, "Your move." Bill Burr. And he looks at it and he goes, "Oh, yeah, good. As if he had guided me into it. Which sucks. And now I was like, I have to say something to this. I have to say something to him. He stopped on the street with his wife. I looked at her. She looked exhausted. She's been under this guy's thumb for 40 years. He probably comes home every day smelling like Bay Street offices and cigars. He reeks of Deloitte. He comes home one day, she goes, "Terry, I want to go to law school." He goes, "Bethany, you can't, I don't know where food comes from." And she goes, "Terry, but I have to." He takes her law school application, he shreds it, he throws it on the ground, he goes, "We're going to the Keg Mansion." She goes upstairs, she puts on her paisley dress, what else can she do at this point? He puts on one of his 7 Tommy Bahama shirts, and they walk to the Keg. But that day, they take a detour, they walk through a green pea, I lock eyes with Bethany, and I have to liberate her for me and for women everywhere. But I didn't say any of that. Instead, the quickest thing I had was I put down the windows and I said, "Yeah, are you gonna satisfy your wife anytime before you die? Because this I gotta see." I should change from now on. Like, that's... The truth of the matter is, I was not always the provocative vixen you see before you today. Audio medium, once again. I had my first kiss at summer camp when I was 14, as so many Jews do. And I proceeded to no joke, vomit on him out of social anxiety. Yeah, do you think she needed Lexapro? No one asked to know 7. And you know what? No. I also vomited on my Hillary Duff bed sheets from Target, which is the saddest part of that whole story. The saddest part. That's for one of you. That's just for you. That is for like 3 millennial women this will matter to. I had the cartoon Lizzie McGuire and real life Hillary Duff looking up at me being like, how are you screwing this up? We taught you how to buy a bra. Like, it was rough. Then, as the years went on, I grew into my body a little bit better, a little less Slender Man vibes. And I know, it's still there. It's still there. But now it's a kink, so that's fun. And then, when I was 16, I was allowed to participate in something called Camp Family Feud, where everyone gets to vote on very judgmental categories. That year, my sister gets voted hottest female person in camp. And I got voted 3rd most improved. She sent the thing! She sent the thing! It was the name of the thing and she said it! And now, you guys have been so much fun. I'm not done, shut up. But you know a comedy special, some comedy time gets serious when they sit on the stool. That's when it's time for the real truths. But I'm bisexual and I can't sit properly. So I'm just gonna this feels right. I feel so proud to be here. I feel so happy to be in front of all of you. You are all so unbelievably sweet for coming out and supporting this weird bullshit I do. I love each and every one of you so much. I feel like I've come quite a long way. I went through a very dark period of my life. I was living out of my car, which is not as cool as TikTok promised. But through this kind of dark era of my life, I really started promising myself to be more honest on stage, and now I'm on the other side, and I've gotten messages from quiet bisexuals, mostly. We're like, thanks for talking! But it really feels so much better to be honest up here, and everyone keeps giving just such lovely feedback, and it makes me feel so warm inside. And this all kind of came to a head when I was in LA recently, and I was in this meeting with a bunch of very high-profile producers. I'm so sorry I dropped something. It was a brag. I'll leave that there. And it was going pretty well. And one of the producers is kind of quiet. He's been kind of staring at me this whole time. He just has no idea what to make of me. And then finally, after about 45 minutes of me yapping at him, he goes, I know you. Okay, I do know you. This is gonna sound really weird. I think we went to summer camp together. Were you by any chance voted 3rd most improved? And I laughed so hard, and I thought about how embarrassed 16-year-old me would have been in that moment, how called out, how flushed she would have been, and I just think it was hilarious, and it made me feel so seen and funny, and I laughed, and I said to him, no, you're thinking of my sister. I got voted hottest female in camp. You guys have been so much.
show, immediately get out. Please offer to buy her a drink at the bar. She won't say yes, but it's nice that you offered. Have a great night. I love you.